Hello, brothers and sisters. How are you doing today? I'm hoping that you had a wonderful Monday. I hope you stayed warm. Drink some warm drinks. Hot lemonade. Ooh, hot orange juice was always a favorite growing up. Hot tang. My mom would make that and it's like heaven. Hot cocoa is a good one. But find yourself a good herbal tea. That is wonderful stuff. All right. So, excuse me. Today we're going to be working in Revelation chapter 2. I have calculated, and if I don't miss a single day this month, I will get all the way to Revelation chapter 22 on the 31st. And then we can begin the Book of Mormon on Monday, January 1st. It's kind of cool that the new year starts on a Monday. That's going to be great. All right. So we're going to be doing chapter 2 today. And this is where John starts writing to the 7 churches. And there's something interesting about every single one. It says, to him that overcometh. In every single one that so far in chapter 2, it has to him that overcometh and then a blessing. So we'll be looking at that. But one thing to look at is every time it says the word servant or angel, use servant instead. Because that's what Joseph Smith's translation says. It's that it's to the servants, to the servant of this church. So let's go ahead and get started. So starting off, Jesus says, unto the servant of the church of Ephesus, write these things. And here's one thing that's cool, is he has some of the stuff that, like descriptions of in chapter 1 or stuff like that. It's pretty cool that he does this. So let's watch. He said, unto the angel, the servant of the church of Ephesus, write, these things saith he who holds the 7 stars in his right hand, who walked in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. That's cool because we see that in chapter 1, and where is it? Right here in verse 12. So it's cool that he's bringing it up again. He says, I know thy works and thy labors and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil. And thou hast tried them which say they are apostles, and are not, and hast found them liars, and hast borne and hast patience for my name's sake, hast labored and hast not fainted. It says, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Now, what is this first love that he's talking about? This first love is service of your fellow beings. This is, let's see here. Verse 4a goes to Doctrine and Covenants 4:2, but it talks about service, and that was their first love. And then he continues, remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, repent and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and I will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. But this thou hast, that thou hatest the deeds of the Nicolaitans. And we'll learn about them, I think, in the next chapter, which I also hate. And now here comes the first one. To whom that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. Okay? So there's the first one. We'll be able to partake of the... Don't want to seem like Dr. Claw. Be able to partake of the fruit of the tree of life. How wonderful would that be? And then he goes into verse 8. Unto the servant of the church of Smyrna. I'm sorry, that sounds like a beer. Smyrna. Sorry. He writes, I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And now, this is a cool one. I love this. Because this is something that every Christian, every Latter-day Saint needs to pay attention. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So, in the coming days, the persecution that we hold, especially for those that don't deny their faith, persecution is going to get pretty brutal, to the point where some people will leave the church, will leave Christianity, because they can't handle the truth. They can't handle the persecution, I should say. Their testimony is not built on stone. Remember, Christ said that a house built on sand will not stand the coming storms. Says that, where is it? Here's the second time he says that. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. In other words, they won't taste of the second death. This is nice. All right, let's go into the next one. Now, here, let's see. When, in verse 8, when they're talking to Smyrna, these things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. Found in Revelation chapter 1. Now let's go to the next one in verse 12. Write unto the servant of the church of Pergamos. Write, these things saith he which hath the sharp sword with two edges. I know thy work, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, and thou hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth. And I don't know if that is a figurative that Satan dwells there. I know Satan is all around. Him and his influence, they're everywhere, but I don't know if there is actually a seat. Now, you need to remember, in the book of Revelation, John loves talking symbolic. It may be a wicked church that was there, or that's where the foundation of Satan's church could be found. I would not take it as literally as that's being the place where Satan dwells. because we know his influence is all over. Verse 14, thou hast them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine of Nicolaitans, which that thing I hate. And he says, repent, or I will come unto thee quickly, and I will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. Now, Balaam, if I'm remembering, this was when Israel was traveling throughout Israel trying to get to place. This was during the time of Joshua. And there existed a prophet of God who, I think it was Balaam or Balak, I can't remember the two, but he tempted the prophet of God. I think it was Balaam that was being offered to. Balak was the one, but he kept on tempting him with money and fame, and I think eventually he gave in to him, because as he was going to curse him, his donkey started talking. Now, the only other time we see a donkey talking was in Shrek, and I don't think it was that nice of a donkey. So he's telling him to repent of those things. And here's the third, to him that overcometh. He says, to him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, save he that receiveth it. Now, let's see here. I just remembered something that I want to talk about. Let me see if I can find it. UVW. Here it is. Doctrine and Covenants 130:10. I wonder if yep, 130:11. Now, what is this white stone with this new name? We read in Doctrine and Covenants 10 and 11. Doctrine and Covenants 130, verses 10 and 11. It says, then the white stone mentioned in Revelation 2:17 will become a Urim and Thummim unto each individual who receives one, whereby things pertaining to a higher order of kingdoms will be made known. And a white stone is given to each of those who come into the celestial kingdom, whereon is a new name written, which no man knoweth, save he that receive it. The new name is the key word. So those that enter the celestial kingdoms are going to be the ones who will receive it. No one else will receive it. Now, I should point out that that's probably for those who enter the highest degree of glory in the celestial kingdom. Those are those who will become like our Father in heaven, who will have the glory of our Father put upon them. Okay, next. Unto the servant of the church of Thyatira, he writes, "These things saith the Son of God, who hath eyes like who he hath who hath his eyes like the flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass. I know thy work and charity and service and faith, in thy patience and thy works, and the last to be more than the first." Beautiful that they were very charitable. They were hardworking, but Christ found something to call them to repent. Because now I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, who calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. Now, if you notice, and earlier, we see that happen as well here with the Balak and Balaam, that they tempted the house of Israel to eat. Where is it? To eat the things sacrificed unto idols and to commit fornication. Now he says that I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. And then he says, "Unto the rest of Thyatira, as many as have not this doctrine, which has not been known the depths of Satan as they speak, I will put upon you none other burden, but that which ye have already, hold fast till I come." And then here comes the fourth of the he that overcometh. "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and as the vessels of a potter shall be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star." So there's a lot of blessings into the people that will be overcoming all the trials and who endure to the end. Remember, Israel has always been a covenant people. We make covenants when we're baptized. We make covenants when we go to the temple, and there's very specific ones. And we must stay true to those covenants. To those men like myself who go to the temple and are ordained into the Melchizedek priesthood as elders, we take an oath and covenant in this priesthood. But this is included in the women. If you overcome the trials that has been set upon you, these blessings will be with you as well. We're told by the prophet Joseph Smith that every sister who stays faithful unto the end, when the time comes, she will be given a worthy priesthood holder to be sealed for all eternity. And other modern prophets and apostles have included those single men who, like myself, stay faithful unto the end. So, I just ask that you stay faithful, endure, don't give up on things, no matter how bleak things get. I promise, after this life, all the pain and sorrow you've gone through, as long as you are staying faithful, as long as you're keeping your testimony and don't give up and leave the church. It will happen. You will receive more blessings than you can imagine. But we got to stay faithful. Remember, people, I love you. I pray for you, and I hope that you're praying for me. I do enjoy doing these videos, and hopefully I will be continue doing these until the end of my days. So you guys have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow's going to be Tuesday. Time to wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and go to your day cheerful. No matter what happens, just try and stay cheerful. You'll attract more people that way. We'll see you guys later.